floor to the PR of Pakistan. Munir, the floor is yours.
And thank you for organizing this very valuable discussion on the scope of the use of force in international law. 70 years ago, the peoples of the world came together to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. They undertook in Article 2.4 of the UN Charter to refrain from the threat or use of force against the territorial integrity and political independence of sovereign states. The framers of the Charter provided only two exceptions to the prohibition on the use of force. First, enforcement measures taken or authorized by the Security Council acting under Chapter 7 of the Charter, and second, under Article 51 in the exercise of the right of individual or collective self-defense. Such use of force in self-defense is also strictly governed by the twin conditions of necessity and proportionality, and authorized only until the Security Council has taken measures necessary to maintain and restore international peace and security. The purpose of the UN Charter clearly was to outlaw the resort to force. Unfortunately, today, the resort to unauthorized and unilateral use of force is most visible in several situations: in foreign occupation and intervention, in denial of the right of self-determination, in the coercion of smaller and weaker states. Pakistan faces cross-border terrorist groups from attacking our soldiers and civilians from the territory of a neighboring state sponsored by a third state. Pakistan has respected the territorial integrity and sovereignty of its neighboring state, but we have the right of self-defense against the state which is sponsoring these terrorist attacks against Pakistan. It is also regrettable that after 9/11, the fight against international terrorism has been utilized to justify the unilateral use of force and foreign intervention. The use of force in self-defense is limited to repelling an armed attack. It does not cover future or anticipated attacks. The concept of preventive or anticipatory use of force is contrary to the UN Charter and is illegal. The struggle of peoples for self-determination cannot be equated with terrorism. Peoples whose right to self-determination has been recognized and which is being forcibly suppressed have the right under the Charter and the resolutions of the UN General Assembly to resort to all possible means, including armed struggle, to secure their right to self-determination. They also have the right to receive moral and material support for their legitimate struggle for self-determination. In our region, we have been subjected to some of the worst manifestations of such violations of the UN Charter and the resort to aggression and the use of force and the threat of use of force. One clear example is the illegal military occupation by India of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. Its use and threat of use of force against Pakistan and other neighbors, and its resort to state terrorism as an instrument of policy to coerce neighbors and oppress the people of Jammu and Kashmir. The attacks in Pulwama and Pathankot were conducted by Kashmiris responding to India's brutal suppression of their struggle for self-determination. In February 2019, India's military adventurism almost triggered another war with Pakistan. A catastrophe was avoided due to the restraint exercised by Pakistan. Recent leaks in the Indian media have revealed hyper-nationalist base and to improve their electoral prospects. Distinguished colleagues, the world has avoided another global conflict for 75 years. But if some states continue to undermine the fundamental principles of the Charter, the world could once again be engulfed by conflicts that could put humanity's very existence at risk. I thank you for this opportunity to convey our viewpoint. Thank you, Joan Ramon.
Thank you.